What is going on, guys? Welcome to your 81st Java tutorial, and we are finally going to learn how to read stuff from a file. So as you can already see, I created this Chinese.txt file and I added 3 more records to it. So the first one is Bucky, the second one is the ID number, and then a name, ID number, name, ID number, name. So it has 4 records, and a record is pretty much a row of data. So now let's go ahead and figure out, alright, we learned how to open a file, we learned how to write this stuff on this file, but we don't know how to access it from a Java program. So that's what I'm going to be teaching you today. And the thing I didn't tell you is before we use scanner, that scanner object, to read from our keyboard using system-in. But we can actually use scanner to read from a file as well. So let's go ahead and first make a private scanner variable. So I'm going to name mine scanner x, and I'm going to move that cursor out of the way. And now let's go ahead and just make a method to open the file first. So public void open file, and let's go ahead and put try to open the file. So we're going to set x, and again here's where we're going to put new scanner. And instead of putting system in here, which would be the keyboard, just put new file and put that Chinese.txt. Did I spell it right? Yep. And now instead of reading from your keyboard, it's actually going to read from this Chinese.txt file right here. So that's a neat little trick that you can do. And if we get any errors, let's just go ahead and catch those errors. Exceptions. E, and now what do we want to do? Let's go ahead and write system out print line, and let's go ahead and print something like could not find file. Looks good enough. So now we have a method to open the file. Easy enough. So what method do we need after this? Well, this tutorial is all about reading files, so let's go ahead and make a method to read the data from that file. So public void, just name it like read file or something like that. And what we want to do, whoop and cough. The first thing we want to do is create a while loop, and it goes something like this: while, put your file name, which is x, and then we want to put has next. And what this is going to do, it's a built-in method. It's going to make a while loop, and it's going to keep going until it reaches the end of the file. So it's going to loop through this, and has next pretty much means, if you hover over it, another input. So as long as there's something there, it's going to continue. As soon as there's nothing there and it reaches the end of the file, this is going to be false, and this while loop is going to break out. So that's why we can write while x has next. It pretty much means while the file x has something in it. So what we want to do is, you see, each of these records has an ID number, a first name, and a last name. So we're going to want 3 variables to hold those. String a, and let's go ahead and copy that. Actually, we're going to put string a equals x dot next. And what this means is pretty much it's going to do this. Well, let me finish writing all my variables, then I'll tell you guys what it does. String a equals next, and this is going to be b and c. What it's going to do is this: it's going to loop through the very first thing it sees, and it's going to assign 20 equal to a. Then it's going to assign Bucky equal to b and Roberts equal to c. And then what we're going to put after this is we're just going to go ahead and print those out. So system out print, actually printf would be better. So let's go ahead and print just 3 string variables. So %s space %s space %s, and those variables of course are a, b, and c. So now what it's going to do is, after it gets those 3, it's going to print it out, and might want to put a new line there. And then it's going to go, alright, next 60A, Joe is B, and Doe is C. Now I'm going to print all those out, and it's going to keep printing those out until it gets to the end of the file, which is right here, and then it's going to break out of that while loop. So that's actually the only thing we need in this read file method right there. So now we just need that one last method, and what this is going to do is close the file. So public void close file, just like that. And all we want this to do is close that file X. And now looks like we got everything. Check for errors. And now we can go ahead and start putting it in our main. So let's go ahead and put read file. I didn't name that read file. Yep. R equals new read file. Don't take any parameters. And now let's go ahead and put r.open file, r.read file, and r.close file right there. So now what this is going to do is call open file to open it, read the stuff from it, and close it when we're done with it. So now let's go ahead and run this, and we'll see what we got. We got pretty much exactly what is in our text file. 20 Bucky Roberts. It just printed all this out. It stored this in A, B, C, printed it out. Then it got 3 new variables, stored this in A, B, C, printed out, A, B, C, A, B, C. And then it got to the end of the file and it broke out. So again, let me make sure that's in there, and I'll tell you guys how this worked one last time. We made a new scanner variable X because remember, we can use scanner to not only read from our keyboard but also read from files. We then made a method to open the file right here, in which how we did that is we pretty much set this scanner and said we're reading from this file Chinese.txt, which is right here, and we pretty much set the file equal to X. This error is a handling because we programmed it awesomely, and we don't need error handling because we don't have any errors. And now we made a method to read the file, or pretty much read the data in the file. And how we did this is we pretty much set variables equal to each one of these items or words or strings, choose your word, and then when we got 3 we printed it out on the line, and then we got a new line, got 3 more, printed it out, 3 more, printed it out, and it does that until it reaches the end of the file using the hasNext function. And last but not least, we close the file because, you know, it's just good programming. So that is that for how to read a file in Java. That's it. I mean, nothing else to say except thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time.